You're right, everyone, it's Ace here from Romany Custom Catapult. So I'm with a build to show you all here. This is a hotshot, a design that I created for Jofi Slingshot Hunter. Now, the material used on this is gold carbon. I've done two previous hotshots with gold carbon. It's kind of strange that the gold carbon has all gone to hotshots. I'd have liked to have done a Raptor in one, but as it happens, they've all gone for these builds. And I can't get any more gold carbon. Now, I've tried to finish it different on each build. On the other two previous ones, I've done fade-ins, so it faded in. One was a bit more prominent than the other. This one, I've tried to hold the colour all over the build. Also, this has got a split face. So here's your gold carbon. You can see it wearing thin a little bit on the bottom, but I've managed to maintain it. We've got a carbon spacer here. Because I was running low on the material, to be honest with you, I had no choice but to split it up. But it gives it that little bit extra look. I really like the split. I think it's cool. Same this side. The two previous ones had, I think, a green core and a white core. This has got black SRBP. It's at the thicker end of the spectrum, 16mm. The black in there is matte, which goes really good against the shine of the carbon, I feel. Again, we held the colour on the clips, so there's no fading on this, but I think it looks really cool. I mean, I wouldn't say there's one better than the other, it's just preference, but I just really wanted to be able to maintain the full colour on at least one of them rather than have the fade-ins. Some people would say that it wasn't possible to do it, and that the reason why I faded it in is because I had no choice, but as you can see from this, I clearly had a choice. Also, something very unique about this build is the bolts. Instead of using pins, I've used bolts, and I absolutely love the industrial look of them. Really, really do. Bolts are something that I used to do on builds many years ago, 5-6 years ago, before I had a YouTube channel. So on this YouTube channel, you won't have seen any of the previous builds that I did with bolts. Back in the day, though, the builds that I did were, when I'd done a build like this, not a Stanley, this type of build, this style of modern build, they were all thicker. My go-to was around about 19mm. 17mm would be a slimline. This at 16mm would be a really slimline build, which is really weird to feel because at 16mm now, this feels thick. Do you know what I mean? Now, the thicker the build, the easier it is to put bolts in. When I'm doing builds 12, 13mm thick, it's not possible because obviously you've got the countersink to think of, and then the ferrule that's in between to hold them together. So I could probably get away with 14mm at a minimum, but I really wanted to do bolts. I brought it back. You don't see enough bolts in builds. Like I say, I love the industrial look of them. And these bolts aren't glued in or anything like that. They're not display. These are actually threaded in. So you can take these bolts out and you could replace them with another colour if you wanted to. But I think they look better than ever, better than the previous builds have done, because there's so many bolts, because they've got bolts at the top here as well. I just think it looks really, really cool. But let me know what you feel. Do you prefer pins? Do you prefer bolts? A bit of both. I mean, I like both, but I just think this build in particular just looks super cool with those bolts. Let me know what you think about the finish. Do you prefer the fade in or the full colour? I really like this full colour, to be honest with you. I think it looks really, really good. I'm over the moon with this build. I hope the customer likes it. But yeah, it'd be interesting to know what you all think about the bolts though. It's something I'm going to be doing more often on builds. But Utah Raptors, I go up to 16mm, so I can easily do it on the thicker Utah Raptors. Velociraptors, 14mm at the thickest. It's possible, but it'd be fiddly. But yeah, on this particular build, I think they look really, really cool. Really industrial looking. Cheers all, and thanks for watching.